Hi there, Lee here from Critical Couple, and welcome to my deck building video. So, as the video mentioned before, I got Lucario EX. Lucario, stage 1, has 260 HP, relatively healthy. For one fighting and a colourless, I've got low sweep as an attack for 60 damage, pretty bare basic. And then for 2 fighting and a colourless, I've got Aura Sphere for 160 damage. But then it also does 50 damage to one of my opponent's bench Pokemon, which is a strategy I like to do, which is sniping the bench, which sets up future attacks in the future. So let's go through the contents of this deck. Right, so there is Lucario. So there's my Lucario code card. So each of these decks comes with a little helpful guide. So, little snippet here. Plenty of damage counters. And so obviously, this was released in conjunction with the Ampharos EX. So, a bit of a snippet on both those decks. Your battle deck rules, so this is really helpful if you're ever stuck on interactions or how your turns go, and also little player map there as well. Right, so let's go into the actual deck itself. Right, so with these decks, they are mixed up, so it has plenty of fighting energy. Your supporter, youngster. Right, quickly get these sorted out into Pokemon trainers and supporters. Oh, yeah, shouldn't take too long. As I said, in this video, we'll be open up another one of these and we'll be building a deck. Also, I've got some packs to open and to include those cards into my deck. The deck consists of 60 cards. You can have as many Pokemon as you want, provided you've got the energies. Right, so I wish these came pre-sorted. Yes. Need extra hands. Single jack. Ooh, that's gone flying on the floor. Oh. Right, quickly brisk do this. Right. These sorted into the colours. Right. So for the fighting Pokemon, comes with 3 copies of Riolu, which is what you need to evolve into Lucario EX. Pretty basic. Jab for 1 energy, 10 damage. For 2 energy, one of them being fighting, does 20 damage. Pretty bog standard basic. Right, so first 3 line. Alright, so we've got 3 monkeys with the best named attack, Monkey Beatdown. 30 damage for a single energy, but it does 10 damage to itself. Then you've got Primate, for 1 fighting, does 70 damage, but then he deals 70 damage to himself. So as you can kind of guess, Primate line likes to hit itself. Rage Fist, this attack does 70 damage for each prize card your opponent's taken. So this card is really good in the late game, so if my opponent's winning, the more prizes they've taken, the more damage I'll be doing. Then I've got a 2-1 line of Medai and Medicham. It is effective by resistance, so if anything resists fighting, this ignores it. And this card's really good because it stops your opponent from using a very powerful move. So if they've got a move that you know is going to knock you out, you could use the acupuncture, and then you choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks. During your opponent's next turn, that Pokemon can't use that attack. So it's really good at stopping high damaging attacks. And this card here, just 4 energy, deal 190 damage, but then you have to discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. Very costly, but for 190 damage, it's not that bad. Now for the normal types, right, so we've got a lovely little pig line here. So we've got 2/2 of Lechonk. Really good. For 1 energy, you draw a card, which is pretty much what you'd be using this card for, drawing cards. Oinkalong, which is the female of the evolution. 130 damage for 3, flip a coin of tails. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. Not terrible, but not bad either. Squawkabilly is a really good card for 1 energy. Call for family, which allows you to search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon, put them onto your bench, and then shuffle your deck. Really good for filling out your bench and making sure that you're finding the basis of your evolution lines. And the cyclers are really good. 1 energy, you draw 2 cards. You can't complain with that. That's just refilling your hand back. For trainers, I've got 1 Jack, which allows me to search for 2 evolution Pokemon. So obviously with conjunction of using Squawkabilly, I could use this to fill my hand with my evolutions and then evolve my Pokemon straight away. For Youngster, shuffle my hand into my deck, then draw a 5. Not too bad. It's a worse Professor's Research. And then Nemona, for Nemona, play it and you draw 3 cards. It's a better Pot of Greed, but no one knows what Pot of Greed does. 2 energy retrievals, put up to 2 basic energy cards from my discard pile into my hand. Not terrible, not great. Ultra Ball, it's going to be the staple card of my deck. I'll be using all 4 copies in my deck going forward. It's probably one of the best item cards in this deck. Discard 2 cards, search my deck for any Pokemon and add it to my hand. And using that with conjunction with, for example, Nest Ball, which is search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it into your bench. Really good card, but this allows you to search for basic EXs if I ever get any in the future. 2 potions, this will be one of the first cards I'll be cutting from my deck. It's just heal 30 damage from one of your Pokemon. That's inconsequential decks of today, where like 100 damage is the norm. Healing 30 damage doesn't help you. Switch, which is going to be another card I'll be using, but I'll probably only use the 2 copies. Switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Really good for getting one of your Pokemon out of an emergency situation. Then Pokegear 3.0. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and you may reveal a sport card you find there, put it into your hand, and then shuffle the other cards into my deck. Really good card. It allows you to, filter through your deck to find the correct support card that you're after. Right, so, as I said, I do have a second one, but I'll open that in a bit. Now for the goodies. I have one of these. I've ordered the wrong thing. I thought this was going to be a booster bundle, but it turns out this is a pre-release deck. So, this does come with a 40 card deck, but I will not be using the 40 card deck. I will open it so we can have a look at what cards will come in it, but I'm opening it for the 4 packs that's in here. So, let's get this open. So, got Terapagos on the front. And my promo was a Drifblim, the Stella Crown promo. Not too bad. Right. And obviously, 4 packs of Stella Crown. Right, so, let's go and open this and have a look at what I could have had. Where's the opening for this? Ah, there we go. So, with these pre-release kits, you get a pre-constructed 40 card deck, and one of them being a promo. Oh, that's my code card. I want that. So this comes with a Drifblim. Got Drifblim, Crabwaller, Veluza, Well, this is not too bad. Attacks used by this Pokemon cost 1 colour less for each Kofu card in your discard pile. And then for 4 energy, 110 damage, and it isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's active Pokemon. That's not too bad. Then obviously, so the whole premise of this is discarding these into the discard to make sure that this attacks for free. Or Moonlit Hill, that would have been a really nice card to have. Reversal Energy. Lana's Aid. All in all, not a terrible 40 card deck, but I will not be using it. Right, now to the meat and potatoes, the packs. Right. Right, so got ourselves a Pancham, which is a good fighting type Pokemon, which I'm looking for. Charger Bug, a Salandit, a Yamask, a Revavroom, a Lapras, a Menshao, which is a good fighting type, so hopefully I can find the Minefu, a Perugly, a Salazzle, and a Caracosta Rare. And, oh look, another fighting energy to go with the other 18 I already have. Right, so nothing useful there so far. That's front. Fire energy. Tortuga. A Melton. Fletchinder. Finneon. Electivire. Double. A Pangoro. Ooh, an Ace-Specs. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from my opponent's Pokemon, even if it's knocked out, put 12 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. If you place any damage counters this way, discard this card. That is really, really good. That's definitely going in the deck. Got a Finneon reverse and a Klinglang. Energy to front. Got a water energy. There's a sincere lack of fighting type so far. Carnivine. A Pansear. A Pawmi. A Fanrotom. This is really, really good card to find. Once during my turn, on my first turn, I may search my deck for up to 3 colourless Pokemon with 100 HP or less and reveal them, put them into my hand, then shuffle my deck. I can't use more than 1 Fan Call ability during my turn. Excellent card. This would be definitely going in my deck. Got a Salazzle. Another Drifblim. A Payapa Berry. A Koraidon reverse, which I could actually use into my deck. Lantern reverse. And a Garganacl EX. That's really, really good, but I haven't got the other 2. So hopefully, if I can find them in the last pack, it might actually do me some good. I'll drop all the cards. Right. Grass Energy. Got a Tauros. Got a Fidough. An Applin. A Crabrawler. A Crispin. Excellent card to find. Really good baseline supporter. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards of different types. Reveal them, put 1 into my hand, and attach the other 1 to my Pokemon. Then shuffle my deck. Really good at searching for my energy cards. Got a Talonflame. Area 0 Under Depths. This would be really good if I had more Terra Pokemon. Each player who has any Terra Pokemon in play can have up to 8 Pokemon on their bench. That's absolutely huge. But unfortunately, I've got no Terra Pokemon as of yet. A Greavard. A Varoom. And a final card. A Raging Bolt EX. Right. Right, looking through my piles that I've pulled today. I've only picked 6 cards that I'll be using out of these cards. So we're using Crispin. A Koraidon reverse, the Fanrotom. I'm going to be using this. I think this is going to be an absolute funny card to use against the misses. I'm going to use a Pawmi because this also attacks the bench, which is a really good strategy, which I really enjoy doing. I'm going to use Raging Bolt, which is kind of growing on me, even though Raikou is my favourite, and this is like the worst primal Pokemon. But it's slowly growing on me, this bloody giraffe is. So, we're going to go to deck building now. So, First thing I'm going to start with my supporters. So, out of the pile of supporters, I'm going to use all my supporters. I'm going to use 4 Youngster, 4 Nimona, I'm going to use 2 Jack, and obviously, I will definitely be using my Crispin. So for my items, I'll use 4 Ultra Ball, I'm going to use 4 Nest, I'm definitely going to be using 2 Poker Gear. Probably won't use anything. I've used 2 switches. I don't see a use for anything else. So everything else will go in the pile. So let's do a quick count. That's 8, 4, 8, 10, 12, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So that's 23. That's 23 cards so far. So for Pokemon, oh, I'm going to use this. So that's 24. These will definitely be going in. So for, definitely want to use my Lucario. So with the Lucario, I want to throw in 4 copies of Riolu. If I find him. Right, so the other spare copies will go in the bin. Well, not the bin, but aside. Because obviously this is going to be the crux of the deck. Next, I actually want to use the Mankey line. Although it hurts itself, and obviously the potions would come in useful, but I think having a strong attacker early is better than not having a strong attacker. Right, so it will be a 4-4-2 line into the Annihilate. That's a nice baseline. But obviously, to pair it up with the Fan Rotom, so it's actually useful, I want to utilise, dropping cards, 2 Squawkabilly, I'll use 2 Lechonk to draw my cards. So that way I've always got 4 targets for the Fan Rotom, and I'm going to throw in 2 Cyclizar because it draws me 2 cards. So let's do a rough count here. So I'm at 24 there, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. So that leaves me 10 slots, so I'm going to have to make some cuts. So, well, I'm going to make a cut. Well, let's have a look here. Right. So this is a 4-4-2. It might be worth just doing a 3-3-2 line, actually. So make that cut there. That leaves me 12 energy cards I could put into my deck. Right, so let's pair these up. Right, so right, so we start with this. So I've got 12 energy spaces. So let's go for 3 electric. And then 9 fighting energy. So I think that should be a good baseline at the beginning of this deck. So, right, let's get this sleeved up, shall we? And for the sleeves, I'll be using katanas. I will stand on top of the hill and say that these are hands down the best sleeves on the market. I don't use any other sleeves. For my commander decks are always in katana sleeves. They last for ages, and all my previous Pokemon decks, even my Dracopult deck is currently sleeved in katanas, so absolute best sleeves on the market for these are. Right. I don't know about you, but sleeving cards I always find extremely therapeutic. Like when you're doing a commander deck in Magic, it's 100 cards. So sitting down and sleeving 100 cards to re-sleeve them, I find that really, really enjoyable. Yeah. Plus, you can't beat new sleeve feeling. It's just, it's up there. I'm actually quite excited to use this deck, to be honest. Well, hopefully it's gonna do well. Pulling the fan rote on, I'm hoping that that's gonna do me some good. Put that in properly. So if you make it this far in the video, tell me what is your favourite Pokemon game and why? My favourite Pokemon game is Pokemon Crystal. Loved it ever since I got it for my birthday when I was 11 years old, just started secondary school. And my mate, he had it before me. He got it in February. And my birthday present from him was, he gave me a level 5 Larvitar that he bred for me for my birthday. It knew Earthquake, Rock Slide, Sandstorm, and Crunch. And so my starting Pokemon was a Cyndaquil. And my second Pokemon was a Larvitar. And I had that Larvitar all the way up until I defeated the game. And where Tyranitar has always been my favourite Generation 2 Pokemon. And obviously for Generation 1, Beedrill is hands down my favourite Pokemon. I love Beedrill, I love Wasps. You know what, while I'm here, I'm actually going to cut these two. I'm going to do 3-3 Nemona. I'll put in an extra energy, I think. Because obviously I don't have access to Earthen Vessels, which is a really good staple card to have, which is discard 1 card, search your deck for any 2 basic energy cards, reveal them to your opponent, then shuffle your deck. But because I don't have access to them, I'm going to use a couple more energy cards, and I'd be, well, normally comfortable than using. But obviously once we be able to get some more staples, I'll be able to make less energy cards in my deck, which will allow me to have more important cards into the deck for the future. For the future of the deck, I have no idea what I want to do. I want to play stuff that I've never played. So I'll be interested to pull some Terra Pokemon. Because the Terra mechanic is interesting. Obviously I've pulled the Area Zero, and I'd love to be able to use that. Having 8 Pokemon on my bench, which would be extremely intimidating for my opponent when they'll be looking down at, instead of just the 6 Pokemon on the field, there'll be 9 Pokemon. Obviously having more Pokemon on my bench means more options for me. Right. As always with new sleeves, bit of a tip, squeeze them. Gets all the air out of them. And with katanas, oh, that first shuffle feeling. Just can't beat it. Right, so that's the end of my deck building. So as you can see, fighting with a twist of electricity for the spark. And next video, I'll be giving the misses battle best of 3. So may the best Pokemon Master be.